friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Sheree and I am back with another video. If you are new, welcome to my channel. I really appreciate you for clicking on this video. If you are not new, I appreciate you too, and thank you so much for coming back to watch a new video. I will be reviewing the Nars Soft Matte Foundation as well as the Soft Matte Concealer. So if you want to see how these two babies perform on this face right here and how they last throughout the day, just keep on watching. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. As I said in the intro, I'll be reviewing the Nars Soft Matte Foundation and Concealer. I've been really wanting to review this for a long time when it came out last year, and today is the day. So I went ahead and picked up the foundation in the color Medium Deep 2 Tahoe. This is how the packaging looks. A nice soft matte packaging. It's like a velvet soft packaging, which I really like. And it comes in a squeeze tube. Squeezed a little bit too hard. It comes like this. And yes, I am super excited to try that out. But first I'm going to go ahead and prime my face. Since this is a soft matte foundation, I am going to go ahead and use the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I'm not going to use a primer that's too matte. I want to try to go in with something a little bit more hydrating, if you will. Okay, I went ahead and moved my hair out the way so it doesn't get in my way as I'm filming. Okay, so the face is primed. So I have both a brush as well as a sponge. I'm going to do one side with a brush, one side with a sponge, just to try to get options on how to apply the product. So since it does have a squeeze tube, I'm going to go ahead and try to squeeze it on my face without touching my face, because I know some people get weird about that. I don't really know how much to use, but I'm gonna just use that much so far. I'm gonna go in first with a flat top foundation brush. I do want to point out it's currently 2:42 p.m. by the way. I'm gonna try to wear this as long as I can. So it is 2:42. I'm kind of getting a late start, but I can still get in a decent amount of time for the wear test. Although this is my real first time using this foundation, I did place an order with Sephora a while ago, and I got a small little sample of this foundation because I didn't know, I've never tried Nars foundations before, and I didn't know what color to use, and so I got this color Tahoe. So I thought it was a pretty good color. Looking at it on camera, it does look a little bit more yellow undertone, but in person it doesn't look too bad. So I'm gonna keep going and then see how it looks with all the makeup. This is how the foundation is looking on this side with the brush. As you can see, it pretty much already dried down, so it's definitely living up to that soft matte finish that it claims. I'm going to go on this side with a sponge. I'm just going to go ahead and add the product directly to the sponge. I don't know why the camera is picking up the yellow undertone so much, because it really doesn't look yellow at all in person. I pretty much think that they look the same, so I'm just gonna go over this side with the sponge just to make sure everything is even and blended out really well. So far I think it looks really nice. I love me a good matte foundation, and it's already looking matte and I haven't even set it, so I'm really liking the finish so far. I'm not really sure how I feel about the color. I'm gonna see how it looks when I add everything else, but it looks pretty good so far. Just, you know, the finish. So next, I'm gonna go in with the concealer. It looks like this. It has that same kind of soft matte packaging. This is how it looks on the inside. And then I did pick this up in the color Sucre Medium Dark 1.5. Now, I did have this same color in their creamy radiant concealer, but I definitely wanted to try the matte one out, so it will be my first time trying this formula but not this color. So I'm just gonna go in with a brush to kind of place it on there underneath the eye, and then I'll probably go ahead and blend it out with a sponge. Okay, so this is how everything looks blended out. I feel like the concealer blended out really well. It's not giving me as much coverage as I like, but I do think it looks really nice. I'm going to go ahead and add another layer just to see how it builds up, but I definitely think it blends out really well. It's a really nice color. So put a little bit more. I went ahead and blended it out. I think it looks really nice so far, but this is how it is looking. No powder, just the foundation and concealer. I do think that the concealer dried down as well. Probably should have let it sit a little bit just to see if I can get a little bit more coverage, but I'm definitely seeing that type of soft matte finish that it claims to have, so that's really good. I'm going to go ahead and set it with normal powder, so I'm using this Fenty Beauty powder in the color Cashew mixed with the Mercier translucent powder. I go ahead and just kind of mix the two of them in the top just to give the perfect color. So I'm just gonna mix them together. Okay, and then I'm just gonna use those two powders to set the concealed areas. And then just to set the rest of my face, I'm going to go in with this Fenty powder in the color Cashew by itself, and then lightly go over my face to set it. Now to bronze my face, I'm going to go in with this Lip Bar Just Got Paid bronzer and blush duo. I'm going to go in with the bronzer color here called Direct Deposit, and I'm just going to bronze up my face like I normally would. As the setting spray dried down, I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup, and then I'll be right back to show you all how everything is looking and to do the first check-in. Okay, so I am back. It's currently 6:13 p.m. so I had this foundation on a little over 3 hours. I had some stuff to do, so it's cool. Everything's cool. This is how the foundation is looking so far at the 3-hour mark, and I am loving it. I know at first I was a little bit concerned about the color, but it really just set really well with my skin. Once I put everything else on it and it dried down, like, it looks pretty perfect. So I'm really happy about how it's looking so far. It's not looking too shiny, and in person it looks flawless. Okay, so I did want to read off some claims of the foundation. So it said it's supposed to be matte, which check. When I first put it on, it was super matte. It still looks fairly matte right now. It said it was supposed to be full coverage. It looked pretty full coverage. I just put on one layer. I didn't feel like I needed to add too much for the foundation to build it up. I did add a little bit more for the concealer, but the foundation claims to be full coverage, and I think it's doing a good job with that. It is paraben and sulfate free, so if you're interested resistant and stuff like that, that might be good for you. And it does claim to have hyaluronic acid, which everybody knows is really good for your skin, so that's really good there. Also, some claims about the foundation. It claims to be a 16-hour wear, which I won't know because I won't be wearing it for 16 hours. I'm gonna wear it as long as I can and then show you all how it looks. It also claims to be oxidation resistant, which I don't feel like it really changed colors when I put it on. It was a little bit more yellow, and I think it did settle into my skin, which is with any foundation, but I definitely do not think it oxidized. It also claims to be transfer proof and sweat proof. So I don't plan on doing any strenuous activity or sweating today, but I did grab a napkin because I do want to see how much, you know, transfer proof it is. And I'm just gonna dab. Wow. Okay, let's see. Let me try to get my forehead. So it has like, if you can see that, it has like the tiniest amount of brown there. So overall, compared to some foundations, when I blot my face, it's like a lot. I think it's pretty transfer proof. It's not, obviously not 100% transfer proof, but it's pretty transfer proof. I feel like if you were to wear a mask, it wouldn't be too much, you know, on there. So far so good. I'm loving this foundation and concealer so far, you all. So yes, this is my first check-in, and then I'll check in with you all one more time to show you how it's looking and to give you my final thoughts. So see you then. I am back for my last check-in of the day. It is currently 10:45, so I had this foundation on for a little bit over 8 hours. As you can see, there is some oil seeping through on my forehead and right here, which are my normal oily spots. As you can see, I've been doing stuff and my little lipstick then came off, but it's all good. I haven't went outside or anything like that. I was dancing around watching the Versus battle with Keisha Cole and Ashanti. Go ahead and leave in the comments if you was watching too. But I was dancing around a little bit, you know, so that may have contributed to my oiliness, but it doesn't look bad at all. With the lights beaming down, it does look a little bit more oily, but in person it looks pretty good. Again, I'm going to go in with this napkin that I used earlier on a clean spot, and I'm just going to dab the areas that are oily. So after doing that, you can see it pretty much looks just as good as it did initially. It's looking pretty good, pretty flawless. So this foundation was the business. This is how much product came off after dabbing my face. When I dabbed my face around the 3-hour check-in, there wasn't barely anything there. So after a while, you do get a little bit of transfer, but I think that's with any foundation. Overall, this might be one of my new favorites. It lasted a really long time. After I went ahead and dabbed it, it still looks really good and it's matte. So definitely 2 thumbs up. The concealer still looks really good too. No creasing, no breaking up there. It's giving a nice soft matte finish underneath the eyes. So I might use the concealer for a little spot concealing too because I like the texture of it. So definitely 2 thumbs up for both the foundation and concealer. Go ahead and leave in the comments if you tried any of these 2 products and how you feel about them. I love filming these type of videos, doing foundation and concealer reviews, because I feel like it gives people options on what they can use if they have different type of skin tones, different type of skin types. So I'm happy to do reviews and bring them to you all so you can kind of get a feel of, do I want to buy this? Do I not, you know? So again, thank you all so much for watching. I had so much fun filming this video, as I do always. My name is Sheree, and I'll see you in the next one.